Hey, it's Brian Mott. This is my cheat sheet for, oh my gosh, can you believe it? Not only are we in December, but since it started on Saturday, it's the 3rd. We're 22 days away from Christmas. Craziness. All right, let's get right into it. I teased this on Friday, and it is one of the more staggering numbers I've seen in real estate in quite some time. Palm Beach County real estate. I do not have the Treasure Coast data coming out of October yet. Palm Beach County real estate. You ready for the year-over-year price increase? We were just under 15% coming out of September. And remember, one of the pieces of information I was using as part of my hypothesis about the real estate market only gaining more traction would be nervousness over everything. We know fiscal cliff, debt, people just not wanting to necessarily be in the stock market, tax increases next year. All that would cause people to pull money to the sidelines. As people pull money to the sidelines, what have they traditionally done with it? Well, they've gone into real estate. So if you already have a recovery, you add in season in our area, and then you add in a bunch of money on the sidelines, that equals like gas all over a fire that's starting to burn. And that's what we have. The year-over-year price increase, Palm Beach County, October, 25%. 25%. Now, real estate was my single best idea coming into 2012. I've been talking about it the entire year. This would be the year of the recovery. And I have to admit, even I didn't see a 25% year-over-year increase by the time we got to October. We were mid to low single digits through about the first 5 months out of the year. Then we got into the high single digits through May through midsummer. Then we saw the first double-digit year-over-year increase just about July. And then it got to 15 in September, now 25 in October. So, where do we go from here? Here's the next thing. This was the story I did either Thursday or Friday last week. Is it sustainable? Here's what's remarkable about the 25% year-over-year price increase. We had 74% of all homes being purchased in September being purchased with cash. So we saw prices increase 10%, right, in 1 month. And it was still a 70% cash scenario. It only dropped from 74 to 70% cash. This is still a cash market, even with prices up 25% year over year. It's pretty staggering, right? That means it's still absolutely sustainable. And with there still being all this nervousness, the fiscal cliff, money on the sidelines, season, the whole deal, there's every reason to believe it will continue, at least for now. Not until those ratios get more out of whack will I get concerned. I mean, by definition, if 70% of homes are being purchased with cash, they can't default. Remember, in 2005, in southeastern Florida, only 11% of all homes are being purchased with cash, meaning that there are 89% that have the chance of default. Right now, we're still only seeing 30% that have a chance of default, or a third of what we saw then. That means that this is sustainable. Craziness, right? Okay, now let me talk about something that's not as positive. This is going to surprise you. The average length of time on unemployment. How long do you think that the average person spends out of work if you lose your job these days? The answer? 40 weeks. 40 weeks is the average, or just under 80% of a year. So how does that compare with past years? Well, if you go back to 2009, the number was just under 30 weeks. If you go to 2010, the number was 33 weeks. If you go to 2011, the number was 39 weeks, and now we're up to 40. So you can actually see a steady increase still over the past 3 years and the overall unemployment rate and the length of time people are spending on unemployment. That tells a story about how weak the recovery has been as much as anything, because as we've been theoretically growing jobs and you see the declining unemployment rate, which I've mentioned some of the inequities of that particular number, you're seeing that the average length of time people are out of work is longer than it's ever been. So that's something that until and unless that trend changes, you're going to continue to see the story of two Americas. You know, the one in which some people that are positioned well are able to take advantage of low interest rates, low mortgage rates, versus the people that just sit there and stare at the economy and go, what gives? And am I ever going to have the quality of life that I once did and that I once wanted? Speaking of employment, here's a happier story. This is something that Google has recently put together with Syracuse University that's pretty cool. Had a story a few months ago that vets, sometimes out of necessity, but vets generally are more entrepreneurial than their civilian counterparts. In fact, veterans are 30% more likely to start their own business than a typical civilian. So, Google has this resource with Syracuse University that will help veterans wanting to learn how to get started in starting their own business, including not only the skills to do so, but actually the education. They're making all that available for free to veterans. Check out my physical cheat sheet for all the information about that particular situation. That is the cheat sheet for today. Hope your week gets off to a good start, and we shall see you tomorrow.